Hey Dagger. Um, First off, I want to address some things of yours at the same time addressing some of Caiden Cowger's things because there's a little bit of flaws in both. I saw in your thing you said, "Oh, cite this. Um, you said people are born gay." Oh, you said cite this. Well, here you go. There was actually this study on is there a gay gene? All right. First off, this thing right here, yes, it's godinscience.org, and immediately some might reject this, the fact that it's on a religious website, and further, they might reject it, the fact that Richard Dean is actually evan evangelical Christian. He's ministering to reach scientists and secular rationalists through the gospel of Jesus Christ, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he is a Christian, alright? Already, some will reject that for that one possible fact right there, but I'm going to say you can't immediately reject it based on those grounds. He's actually cited quite a few good resources, papers on this, and this research it does show some supporting evidence. It shows further studies cannot confirm those studies, so you can't consider the one study conclusive when another one rules it wrong. So this isn't primary research. This is mostly a secondary research paper citing other papers and things like that. So this is actually pretty good because it gives you a big rounded picture of the whole thing. Yeah, there was one study that you mentioned on there. I believe it was Family Research Council. I've seen this. I've actually looked into it in the past. Some people tried to dismiss it. One for the fact that he went to a Christian college, but he was going to Texas A&M while he was an associate professor at Texas A&M. And they found there was nothing wrong in his findings there. And yes, if you actually read his research paper, mainly the reason why his findings found that, and they were in broken homes and so on, is that he was trying to get such a large sample group. Really, there's been no research done in such a large sample group. If anything, his research might prove that maybe gays have a lot of broken families. I won't necessarily say that being raised by lesbians or gays will necessarily cause one attribute more than the other. Now, with all that being said, back to people born gay or do they choose to be gay? This paper right here is an article, not really a paper, kind of concludes to the fact that it's definitely more of a preference than being born gay. There may be some instances where they did find a genetic, what was it, SQ9, something like that, and here it is, it's XQ28. Though other research findings found that no, that is not the case. And plus, it also throws out the fact that people generally switch orientations, which leads more to the fact that it's a preference, not an orientation. Back to the other research that you're talking about that was debunked. All right, first off, there's been no solid, conclusive long-term studies. Um, it just doesn't exist. There have been a lot of short-term studies. There have been probably just as many proving um, that gay parents are good as that gay parents are bad. Several groups for and against it. There's just as many. The list just goes on. People that will research defending gay parents, such as the ones that are researching defending heterosexual parents are better, and so on. And better that if you actually futureofchildren.org, they actually have a journal issue in there by William Mazine and Jonathan Rush, um, explaining why same-sex parenting is so hard to study. It's so hard to get large sample groups. It's hard to find people that are necessarily coming from gay and lesbian parents. It's just hard to find. All right, now back to Caiden Cowger. I don't remember his name. Um, this kid's retarded. Um, Maybe he's not completely retarded, but I don't think he has that much of an outlook on life at being only 14. He's saying that all of a sudden Obama came out and there's all these extra gay people. Actually, he's at that age that all of a sudden kids want to start experimenting. I remember, I think I was 14, and there was a lot of people just all of a sudden popping up gay, saying they're gay, bisexual, and so on, guys and girls alike. It's really a kind of experimentation stage. Both kids trying to rebel and just kids trying to find out who they are. And whenever there's other kids like that, maybe they think, hey, maybe I'll try this out. How is it? Um, are they gay? Are they not gay? It's really hard to say. I'm a firm believer of it's a choice. It's definitely a choice. It's necessarily a bad choice. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it is a bad choice, but it is definitely a choice. Um, a lot of things when you go through life is based off learned experiences. There are other people gay around you. You might be more likely to lean that way than not. I think it's more acceptable to experiment with that. And is it wrong to experiment with that? No, it's not wrong to experiment with that. Everything's perfectly fine. Do you like it? Do you not? Well, that again, that's up to you. I might like bananas better than oranges. You might like oranges better than apples, and so on. It's just a fucking choice. Seriously, let's get real now. Nothing is wrong with anything, and there's also a concept of Darwinism. Maybe this is nature's way of trying to cure itself. Again, is it a gay gene? I don't think it's a gay gene, but just a natural order of things that happen in this world, and it's lowering our population. So, and that way it's good. It keeps us from overpopulating. No problem with that. Um, is gay kids popping up new with Obama? I wouldn't say so. Is it more prevalent? Me, people coming out and saying they're gay? Yes, I would say so. It's now a lot more socially acceptable, but it's not new. Especially among kids. Kids will always say that. They may not say it to their parents, and we didn't really say it to their parents back then as much as they do now, but there was always kids saying they're gay in school. Friends of yours saying they're gay. Alright, now let's get back to this religion thing. I do not think Caiden really understands anything about fucking religion. Alright, I'm gonna go through a little mini um, religious lesson here. He's saying, God, you can't argue with God. Oh, what God? You really believe in religion? I want to go on the premise that religion is nothing but a set of morals. First off, Hebrew Jews think there's only one God. I don't think they know where the religion came from. It was originally a polytheistic religion many, many years ago. Babylonian, they started going towards monotheism. Yahweh was nothing more of their head god, similar to Zeus and Apollo, and eventually it went off to be more monotheistic. I mean, even it says it straight in the Bible. You shall worship no other gods but me. Right there, he's acknowledging there are other gods out there. And then we go on to this Christianity thing, which actually I will say I'm a Christian, but I'm more of an educated Christian, knowing that religion is nothing more but a set of morals. If I think Christianity is nothing but a set of morals, but if you really look at history, Christianity stemmed from many other religions. There are so many ancient figures that you can associate with Jesus, including Buddha, Krishna, Iesus, Romulus, and you have Dionysus, you have Heracles, and you have Clycon, and Zoroaster. I think Zoroaster, Zoroastrianism is definitely almost verbatim where the Christian religion comes from. Zoroaster was born of the Virgin, Immaculate Conception by a ray of divine reason. He was baptized in a river. His youth, he astounded wise men with his wisdom. He was tempted in the wilderness by the devil. He began his ministry at age 30. He was baptized with water, fire, and holy wind. He cast out demons, restored the sight to a blind man. He caught heaven and hell and revealed mysteries including resurrection, judgment, salvation, and the apocalypse. He had a sacred cup for Grail. He was slain. His religion had a Eucharist. I can't pronounce that damn word. He was the Word made flesh. Zoroastrian followers expected a second coming in the virgin womb of the Savior, who is to come in 2341 AD and begin his ministry at age 30, ushering in a golden age. It sounds a lot like the Christian religion. You have Aetus and Horus. Alright, and let's just go over Mithras real quick. Just going to highlight a few things. Oh, well, let's back up to Zoroastrianism. By the way, this was in 600, somewhere between 600 and 700 BC. A lot of people say that there are some sources that date it back to 600 BC, 1600 BC. It's kind of argue exactly where that was. All right, now back to Mithras. Hundreds of years before Jesus, according to Mithric religion, there were 3 wise men of Persia came to visit the baby savior called Mithra, bringing him gifts of gold, myrrh, and incense and stuff. Mithra was born on December 25th. What is December 25th? All right, where can you find this source? The Great Religions of the World, page 330. It was the winter solstice celebrated by ancients as the birthday of Mithraism's sun god. According to Mithraism, before Mithra died on a cross, he celebrated a Last Supper with his 12 disciples, who represented the 12 signs of the zodiac. After the death of Mithra, his body was laid to rest in a rock tomb. Mithra had a celibate priesthood. He ascended into heaven during the spring Passover equinox, the time when the sun crosses the equator, making night and day equal. This is all very interesting stuff. You're really gonna argue that Christian religion is ultimately correct? If anything, you should just go back to your roots and be a freaking pagan Roman or Greek, or I don't know where you come from. You come from a Scandinavian country, go with Thor. Um, if anything, religion tells us that there are definitely multiple gods, and you're worshiping the wrong God. You look in the Bible, it says, God came for his people, the people of Israel. Do you really descend from Israel? There might be another God for the area where you're at. Now, let's get a couple things straight. I am not trying to say that your religion is wrong. I'm not trying to say your religion is right. I'm trying to say that you're an uneducated idiot that knows absolutely nothing about religion. You're the blind following the blind. You say you're educating liberals with truth. First, I'm not a liberal. Actually, I'm very independent. A lot of times people will say I'm conservative and I associate more with Republicans. You could say I reached a higher level understanding that religion is nothing more but a set of morals. If you're going to raise a family, religion is great to teach them. The Bible has all kinds of great morals to teach your family in there. But don't say someone's going to go to hell. If you really want to teach your kids that, tell them to go to hell. That'd be your right if you're going to be a parent one day. But you have a friend that is gay. They're not going to hell. You have no basis to say your religion's even the one true religion. Take the Bible for what it is, a set of morals that you can live by. Believe it. Sure, go ahead and believe it. Don't push on anyone else. If you want, we can just go back into ancient times. Roman times, we'll throw you into the Colosseum because you're a Christian and had the lions slay you. I mean, once it was strongly believed that Christians were not right. It was once believed the Jews were not right. We had the Crusades. It was believed Islam was not right. Let's get real. There's nothing is right. Maybe everybody has their own God. Maybe this different God looks out after everybody. But where the hell is this God? I like to see him. Is the one? I don't know. We'll never know. I'll be a Christian. I'll be Catholic. But I will at the same time understand that it's nothing but a set of morals for me to live by. And as for gay, definitely, people are not born gay. It is definitely a choice. If they were born gay, people would be gay consistently throughout their whole life. It is definitely a preference. or else people would not be switching back and forth a lot. Maybe some people eventually get to the part where they really like the preference. There was back in Roman times, there was an emperor. I don't remember his name. He had an island where he'd take little boys and molest them and have sex with them. But he'd also have women and have sex with them. There was a lot of Romans that had sex with men and women. Um, you go over to Saudi, uh, they say that women are to make babies and men for pleasure. Uh, a lot of this stems from the fact that all women have these giant hoodie things that go over the head. They can't even see what they look like. They don't necessarily look sexy over there. They have nothing to really turn them on, but they see a bunch of guys, and it's more accepted to be around guys, just like prison. It comes down to it. People just do what pleasures them the best and easiest. If it's easier to be with a guy, they're gonna be with a fucking guy. Am I gay? Fuck no. Um, do I understand it? I understand it. Alright, I think I addressed both Caiden and Dagger's videos. Dagger, I agree with you on some things, but I disagree on some others. You cite studies. Uh, there are so many studies to prove one versus the other. You cannot just go off one freaking study. It is too hard to research. There's no real solid long-term research of significant numbers to really determine one way or the other. But yeah, signing out.